Hey everyone! Today we're diving deep into the complete history of the Monsterverse, a cinematic universe that has redefined giant monster battles and mythology on the big screen. From Godzilla's earth-shattering return in 2014 to Kong's epic clash in Skull Island, and the ultimate showdown in Godzilla vs. Kong, leading up to the explosive new chapter, Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. This is the ultimate timeline breakdown. Strap in, because we're going full Titan mode. So strap in, because we're going deep into Hollow Earth, into the origins of the Titans, and into the untold wars that happened long before humans walked the Earth. Long before humans built cities, the Earth was a battleground for colossal creatures known as Titans. These beings weren't just animals. They were forces of nature, each tied to the planet's balance. At the top of this hierarchy stood Godzilla, the alpha predator, a remnant of an ancient species that ruled during the Permian era over 250 million years ago. But Godzilla wasn't alone. The Kong species thrived in the lush hidden realm of Hollow Earth, a subterranean world with inverted gravity and exotic ecosystems. Meanwhile, other titans like Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah existed in different corners of the world. Some as protectors, others as destroyers. At the center of this primordial world was the Hollow Earth, a subterranean realm filled with bioluminescent ecosystems, gravitational anomalies, and ancient secrets. It is here that many titans originated. We now know that Hollow Earth was the original battleground, where species like Godzilla's and Kong's first clashed for dominance. Godzilla's kind, massive, radiation-feeding apex predators, were kings of the inner Earth oceans and caverns, while the Kongs, hyper-intelligent, tool-using simians, evolved on the inner continents. Over time, their rivalry evolved into a full-scale war for control of the Hollow Earth. The ruins seen in Godzilla vs. Kong 2021 and expanded upon in The New Empire reveal remnants of ancient civilizations. Not human, but perhaps Titan-built or influenced by early humans who revered these creatures as gods. Massive thrones, carvings, and war murals tell a tale of empire and extinction, of a time when Titans ruled in complex hierarchies. The most shocking revelation? Humanity once lived alongside Titans. Ancient civilizations worshipped them as gods, or feared them as demons. The Temple of the Moth in China, the Skull Island ruins, and the Hollow Earth artifacts all point to a time when humans and Titans coexisted. Until something went horribly wrong. The balance shattered when King Ghidorah, a three-headed dragon from the stars, arrived on Earth. Unlike the other Titans, Ghidorah wasn't native. It was an alien invader, a destroyer of worlds. What followed was a cataclysmic war between Godzilla's kind and Ghidorah's forces. This war was so devastating that it led to the near extinction of Godzilla's species. Only a few, like Dagon, the Godzilla skeleton found in Godzilla 2014, survived. Meanwhile, the Kongs were nearly wiped out by an even greater threat. The Hollow Earth apex predators, including the Warbats and the Nezuki. But the most tragic casualty? The fall of Skull Island. Once a paradise for Kong's ancestors, it became a graveyard after a brutal conflict with the Skullcrawlers, engineered by an ancient civilization to be bioweapons. By the time modern humans rediscovered Skull Island, only one Kong remained. Monarch, the secret scientific organization dedicated to studying Titans, discovered evidence of early human-Titan interaction. Cuneiform tablets recovered in Iraq showed that ancient priests made pacts with Titans, offering sacrifices to keep them dormant or guide them into battle. It was during this time that a human society, likely based in the Hollow Earth access points like Antarctica or Skull Island, allied with Kong's species. This civilization built the Kong throne room, seen in Godzilla vs. Kong, complete with glowing axes made from Godzilla's ancestors' dorsal plates. These weapons were forged in the war against the radiated leviathans. Meanwhile, Godzilla's kind dominated the oceans, battling other aquatic titans and establishing their own territories. The war between Kong and Godzilla species escalated, culminating in a cataclysm that forced the Kongs to flee to the surface world, finding refuge on Skull Island. Thousands of years passed. Most titans either went extinct or entered long periods of hibernation deep within the Earth. Earthquakes, radiation zones, and seismic disturbances were often signs of titans stirring, but for the most part they faded into myth. Humanity forgot their place in the Titan hierarchy. The great beasts were dismissed as legend, dragons, gods, sea monsters. But they were never truly gone. Skull Island became one of the few remaining sites where Titan energy still flowed freely. There, the Kongs adapted and evolved. At the same time, strange anomalies on the island hinted that Hollow Earth energy was leaking out. Monarch was founded in the 1940s to investigate these very anomalies. And soon, everything would change. Fast forward to the 1950s, when humanity realized Titans weren't myths, they were sleeping giants. After the discovery of Godzilla and other creatures, Monarch was formed, a shadowy organization dedicated to studying and containing Titans. It all began with the Hiroshima bomb. The detonation of nuclear weapons in World War II did more than destroy cities. It woke something ancient beneath the sea. In 1954, Godzilla was spotted near Bikini Atoll. The US government launched nuclear tests not to test bombs, but to kill Godzilla. They failed. Godzilla disappeared into the depths. But Monarch took notice. They began tracking seismic disturbances and unusual electromagnetic pulses across the globe. In 1973, during Operation Skull, a Monarch-funded expedition journeyed to Skull Island. There they encountered giant creatures including the mighty Kong. This version of Kong was younger, a juvenile still growing into his power, but he was already fiercely intelligent and deeply territorial. He defended Skull Island from monstrous creatures known as skullcrawlers, grotesque reptiles from Hollow Earth linked to the destruction of his family. But Monarch's biggest discovery? Hollow Earth, a place where Titans originated and where the true history of these creatures lies buried. When Godzilla 2014 premiered, it marked the true return of Titans to the world stage. The MUTO creatures, ancient parasites that fed on radiation, awakened and began rampaging across the globe. Godzilla rose from the deep to challenge them, revealing himself to humanity in a dramatic, city-leveling showdown. What was clear from the start? Godzilla wasn't a villain. He was a force of nature, balancing the chaos unleashed by human meddling and ancient rivalries. The events of 2014's Godzilla redefined global geopolitics. Monarch became a critical agency in understanding and tracking Titans, but the real storm was still ahead. By 2019, Godzilla has reclaimed his throne as Alpha Titan, but a new threat emerges: King Ghidorah, resurrected by eco-terrorists using Orca technology. The Battle of Boston on Godzilla, King of the Monsters, is one of the most destructive in history, with Mothra sacrificing herself to empower Godzilla. Meanwhile, Kong has been growing stronger in Skull Island's containment zone. But when Hollow Earth energy surges start destabilizing the surface, Monarch realizes Kong is the key to restoring balance. In Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Monarch uncovered and awakened more Titans. Mothra, Rodan, Behemoth, Scylla. These were just some of the ancient beings drawn to Godzilla's reappearance. But the true threat was Ghidorah, a three-headed alien titan from beyond Earth. This creature was not part of Earth's natural order, and its presence disrupted the balance. Ghidorah attempted to dominate all other titans, sending the world into chaos. But the true threat was Ghidorah, a three-headed alien titan from beyond Earth. This creature was not part of Earth's natural order, and its presence disrupted the balance. Ghidorah attempted to dominate all other titans, sending the world into chaos. Godzilla, aided by Mothra and humans, fought Ghidorah in Boston. In the process, Godzilla entered a burning overdrive form, supercharged by a nuclear detonation and Mothra's sacrifice. He destroyed Ghidorah and emerged as the undisputed Alpha. However, that victory came with a cost. Earth's Titans had now awakened fully. Some bowed to Godzilla, others vanished into the wild, and Monarch knew this new Titan age was only beginning. By 2024 in the Monsterverse timeline, Godzilla had become erratic. Seemingly attacking cities without provocation, he was actually hunting for Apex Cybernetics, a company building Mechagodzilla, a mechanical titan using remnants of Ghidorah's skull to achieve telepathic control. Kong, meanwhile, had outgrown Skull Island. With Skull Island destabilized, Monarch relocated him to a containment dome. But he was no ordinary titan. He was the last of his kind and potentially the only challenger to Godzilla's reign. When the two titans finally met, the Earth shook. Their battles spanned the seas and cities, climaxing in Hong Kong, where Godzilla triumphed over Kong. But when Mechagodzilla broke loose, it took both kings to stop it. This was a pivotal moment in the Monsterverse. Godzilla and Kong acknowledged each other, not as enemies, but as coexisting rulers, one of the surface and sea, the other of Hollow Earth. Kong descended into Hollow Earth, reclaiming his ancestral throne. But that was only the beginning of a far older conflict. Godzilla x Kong. The new empire explodes the Monsterverse into mythic proportions. In this film, we uncover the full backstory of Hollow Earth's Titan civilizations. Kong encounters a young orphaned ape, Suko, and together they discover a hidden city of enslaved Kongs ruled by the tyrant Scar King. This simian warlord commands Shimu, a glowing red Titan serpent who can level civilizations. Scar King seeks revenge against Godzilla's species, planning to invade the surface world. Kong, with help from Gia and Monarch, must rally the surviving Kongs and convince Godzilla to join the fight. What's fascinating here is the emotional arc of both Titans. Kong isn't just a warrior anymore, he's a leader and protector. Godzilla isn't just a destroyer, he's a strategic alpha who recognizes the threat Scar King poses. The final battle takes place in Hollow Earth and briefly on the surface. Godzilla enters his most powerful transformation yet, the Fire Godzilla form, after absorbing magma and radiation. With heat pulses that melt entire cities, he incinerates Shimu. Kong defeats Scar King, solidifying his dominance as the ruler of Hollow Earth. This leads us to 2024, Godzilla vs. Kong, where the two titans clash in an unforgettable duel. But the real enemy, Mechagodzilla, a robotic titan controlled by Ghidorah's consciousness. The battle ends with Kong earning Godzilla's respect, and the two titans going their separate ways. Now, in Godzilla x Kong. The new empire, the stakes are higher than ever. Kong discovers a lost civilization in Hollow Earth, along with a new threat, possibly Shimo, an ancient ice titan, or even Destoroyah, the ultimate bioweapon. Meanwhile, Godzilla undergoes a mysterious evolution, glowing with pink atomic energy. A power-up those hints at burning Godzilla levels of destruction. Are they preparing for an even greater war? The Monsterverse is more than monster fights. It's a mythological epic, a science fiction saga, and a cosmic battle between nature and domination. Every Titan tells a story of survival, of balance, of war, and peace. From Godzilla's first roar in 2014 to Kong's throne reclaimed in 2024, this is a universe where ancient myths breathe fire and the Earth itself remembers the footsteps of giants. With Godzilla x Kong, supernova on the horizon, we may finally see the true origin of Godzilla's species, the return of interstellar threats, and the final test of coexistence. Until then, remember, the Titans were here long before us, and they will remain long after. And what about the other Titans? Mothra's egg, Rodan's allegiance, and the hidden Titans in Hollow Earth suggest that the Monsterverse is far from over. With Godzilla x Kong, the new empire, the Monsterverse is expanding into uncharted territory. Will we see more ancient Titans, a full-scale Titan rebellion, the return of Ghidorah in a new form? One thing's for sure, the Monsterverse is bigger, deeper, and more connected than we ever imagined. And as we uncover more secrets of Hollow Earth, one truth becomes clear. The Age of Titans is far from over. So, what do you think is coming next in the Monsterverse? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next epic breakdown. Until next time, stay legendary.